Good day everyone, I am Jericho Padura. This is the chapter 12, which is the roles and competencies of school heads. For our introduction, as stipulated in chapter 1, section 5, E of RA 9155, section 5, the school head is an administrative and instructional leader because the primary function of the school is students' learning. The school head must spend more time as an instructional leader. As an instructional leader, he or she supervises instruction by observing teachers, and at the same time, they teach, they conduct post-observation conferences with individual teachers, mentor, and coach them, and also ensure that teachers have that needed resources for teaching. So, while physical improvement and fund sourcing, the concerns of administrative leadership help improve schools, and the more critical concern is the improvement of instruction as this directly impacts learning. And more often than not, however, school heads spend more time in soliciting the funds for a flagpole, a stage, a classroom, a pathwalk, and waiting shed, leave no time for instructional supervision. So it means that the Republic Act 9155, also known as the Governance of Basic Education Act, provides that a school must be managed by a school head who has the authority, responsibility, and accountability for achieving higher learning outcomes. So his roles include, but not limited to, like leadership, management, teacher evaluation, and enforcing student discipline. Let me ask you this question. How does an administrative leader differ from an instructional leader? The administrative leadership is about orchestrating tasks and often includes mobilizing people to develop and sustain an early childhood organization. And successful administrative leaders are able to establish systems that protect and sustain essential operational functions to meet the needs of children or students, while the instructional leader advocates for effective teaching by providing clarity and support for teachers, as well as procuring the necessary resources to maximize teaching effectiveness. And now, let's now proceed in the competencies for school heads, the NCBSS, or the National Competency-Based Standards for School Heads. Now, this is the National Competency-Based Standards for School Heads, which is the most important here is the core principle. The school heads are competent, committed, and accountable in providing access to quality and relevant education for all through transformational leadership and high degree of professionalism. And there are 7 domains, which is from school leadership, instructional leadership, creating a student-centered learning climate, HR management and professional development, the parent involvement and community partnership, the school management and operations, and the last one is the personal and professional attributes and interpersonal effectiveness. So the first domain is the school leadership, and its competency strands are the developing and communicating vision, mission, goals and objectives, data-based strategic planning, problem solving, building high-performance teams, coordinating with others, leading and managing change. So this domain is the core of every successful school. So this domain emphasizes that effective school leaders collaborate, create a vision, and establish in a climate for teachers, non-teaching personnel, and learners to reach their highest level of achievement. And the second domain, which is the instructional leadership. So its competency strands are the assessment for learning, developing programs and or adopting existing programs, implementing programs for instructional improvement, and instructional supervision. So the instructional leadership reforms have created an urgent need for starting emphasis on the development of instructional leadership skills. So this domain covers those actions in instructional leadership, such as an assessment for learning, development and implementation instructional supervision, and technical assistance that school heads take or delegate to others to promote good teaching and high-level learning among pupils or students. And the third domain, which is creating a student-centered learning climate. And its competency strands are the setting high social and academic expectations, creating school environments focused on the needs of the learner. So this domain requires that effective school leaders set high standards and create high expectations for learners at the same time recognizing their achievement. The fourth domain, which is the management and professional. So its competency strands are the creating a professional learning community, recruitment and hiring, managing performance of teachers and staff. So under this domain, school leaders develop the talents and skills of those around them. This domain includes the nurturing and supporting of a learning community that recruits teachers based on NCBTS and promotes the continuous growth and development of personnel. The fifth domain, which is the parent involvement and community partnership. So its competency strands are the parental involvement and external community partnership. So this domain engage in shared decision making with the community in achieving universal participation, completion, and functional literacy. So this domain covers parent and other stakeholders' involvement to raise a learner's performance. And the domain 6, which is the school management and operations. And its competency strands are the managing school operations, fiscal management, use of technology in the management of operations. So this domain covers the critical role of school heads play in managing the implementation and monitoring of their school's improvement plan or annual implementation plan. The last domain, which is the personal and professional attributes and interpersonal effectiveness. So its competency strands are the professionalism, communication, interpersonal sensitivity, calmness, honesty, and integrity. So we all know that effective school leaders are models of professionalism and ethical and moral leadership. So this domain includes the development of pride and the mobility of the teaching profession. So those are the 7 domains and the competency strands that includes in the National Competencies-Based Standards for School Heads. And that's all for my report. Thank you and God bless.